We learn from doctors about different measures we can take to ward off catching a cold. In Seattle and Chicago, people from all walks of life participate in blessing ceremonies. Welcome to the iHeadlines. I'm Siri Su. Thank you for joining us. With the unstable weather, many people are trying to ward off catching a cold. In addition to washing hands and wearing a mask, what else can we do?
When the skin becomes hot to the touch, parents need to do a little more, visiting a doctor or using a thermometer to determine the temperature and diagnose the disease. If the symptoms are mild, one can wipe with a cloth and warm water to reduce fever.
If their physical activity or hunger decreases and there is a severe vomiting or cramps or fatigue, we recommend parents take their children to a large hospital for an exam.
During the Lunar New Year holiday, the weather may be unstable, with many potentially catching cold easily. Some believe that taking vitamin C can prevent a cold or shorten the duration of the illness.
Many drugs on the market will add vitamin C and take out a lot of advertisement to convince people that it is an effective cold treatment. However, this does not mention any of the literature or evidence proving this.
To prevent a cold, one must wash your hands diligently and avoid contact with people who are sick. Also, when going out to public places, one should wear a mask to prevent virus infection, which can easily transmit between people traveling over the Lunar New Year.
It is commonly believed that tooth extraction can cause dementia. What is the truth? Let's hear what a dentist says.
Many people are afraid of tooth extractions. In addition to fear of pain, there is another thing about tooth extraction.
I have heard that too many tooth extractions can affect our mind.
I heard that tooth extraction will affect IQ, that is, will become stupid for a few days after extraction.
Too many tooth extractions will affect the brain and even cause dementia.
These rumors are being sent from one mobile phone to another. In fact, if you check it out on the internet, will tooth extraction really cause dementia?
What really causes dementia is the inflammation of the entire mouth. The most obvious is, for example, long-term periodontal disease. Mouth is close to the brain. The inflammatory factors in the mouth will directly reach the brain through blood flow.
The dentist said that severe inflammatory reactions will accelerate the aging of the body, thereby increasing the risk of dementia. In addition, tooth extraction affects chewing function, which is also one of the reasons causing dementia.
Chewing affects our daily diet. It may not be possible to eat antioxidant food without teeth. Changes in our eating habits can also cause dementia.
The necessity to extract teeth is mainly due to severe periodontal disease and tooth decay. It is essential to control the inflammation of the mouth, and hence it's better to have regular cleaning of calculus to prevent periodontal disease. People with a large number of tooth extractions are also recommended to find a doctor to rebuild their teeth. Restore chewing function and maintain oral hygiene can reduce the possibility of dementia.
With the development of Cambodia's economy, many foreign businesses have invested their money. This flood of development has brought about employment opportunities, but it has also spurred new problems. Therefore, it's important for city volunteers to reinforce charitable deeds.
Station after station, there are hundreds of people here in this one area. Some are cutting the pattern while others are at the same station. No one is slowing down their work speed. Manufacturing a pair of shoes sounds easy enough, but breaking down the different tasks, there are more than 10 steps to go through before the shoe is finished. The workers here have to maintain a good flow to be able to produce up to 1,200 pairs of shoes each day.
I've been here for 5 years, and each year we average 2.44 million pairs of shoes. We might produce more this year because we have more orders, and with improved production, we can output more shoes.
以前是手工贴，效率不好。经过那贴好换过去，一次就好几片就下去。
The shoe factory saw the stable growth of Cambodia and decided to relocate their factory from China. They have been in Phnom Penh since 2014.
It's duty-free here, and that attracts many businesses. This is why we have many orders coming in. Because of the tax-free incentive, everyone is moving here.
There are more workers here, thus more foreign businesses like clothing and shoes like to set up their factory here. Those in food also like to set up their factory here too, mainly located in the area surrounding Phnom Penh.
Economic development hits Phnom Penh, more and more skyscrapers are being built. The area I'm standing in used to be a lake, but it's now been filled up to create more land space. On my left, the shopping area was constructed 3 years ago, and nearby there are many tall buildings being constructed.
When the Chinese come here, if they like the property, even if it's expensive, they will purchase it. In the past, if the property was about 500,000, it was expensive. But even at 5 million, they are willing to buy it because they can build a skyscraper on it.
The economy in Cambodia is rapidly increasing, with the gross domestic product value for 2010 to be $11.2 billion US. And in less than 10 years, it has already more than doubled the value, with average yearly increase of 7%.
How does the CDP get calculated is hard for me to understand too. For example, if you have a person investing 1 billion here, then you have a percentage. But then there are the poor in the countryside who don't have enough to eat or clothe themselves.
If the country's GDP is their exterior appearance, then their inner beauty lies in their humanities. Though Cambodia is affluent, the gap between the rich and the poor has produced many problems in their lifestyle quality.
In their pursuit of economic development, they have forgotten to safeguard the earth, such as recycling and other environmental protection acts.
No matter if it's on the major streets or alleyways, garbage is often seen on the ground. This is why Tzu Chi volunteers promote environmental protection to the city folks, as well as visiting those in remote regions and caring for the disadvantaged.
Doing charity can reduce their life stress and also be educated on environmental protection. Although they aren't fully informed yet, we can help guide them.
Tzu Chi has volunteer training classes, and each month there are meetings where recycling efforts are shared to teach everyone how to sort recyclables. We are teaching them how to collect recyclables so items can be reused.
As Cambodian volunteers are young, they have been promoting Tzu Chi's ideals to the masses. As they know, economy and humanity levels must parallel in progress in order for the country to move towards a more prosperous future.
Tzu Chi volunteers in Zhonghe, New Taipei City, brought spring couplets with Jingsi aphorisms on them to the stores. Let's join them there.
Zhonghe Tzu Chi volunteers go to the streets with the spring couplets. Store owners allow to accept these Jingsi aphorism spring couplets so they can paste them on the walls in their stores.
I feel this spring couplet was written for me. It fits me very well, and I like it very much.
There's a store owner who looks forward to receiving the spring couplet and framing it to preserve it.
When I frame them, they look more valuable, and many customers ask me if I sold them. I told them they are not for sale.
Some people approach the volunteers to ask for one because they want to paste it at home as a family motto.
I want to paste one in the kids' room to remind them of the time.
The volunteers go everywhere to give out of aphorisms and also blessing.
I'm very grateful and blessed. I'm grateful for the peace from last year and also want to bless that the coming year will also be very smooth.
The spring couplets with the Jingsi aphorisms are given to every store and also help form good affinities in the community.
City volunteers in Seattle, Washington have cared for former inmates for a long time. They even provide scholarships to help these people. Let's take a look at the following report.
My current life consists of being in transition. Since I have re-entered society, prior to that, I was at the women's prison. I felt that I had just ruined my whole life. I had lost everything I worked for. My daughter wasn't talking to me, and that I was at the end of myself. I just didn't really want to live.
The transition process is not easy. Who's going to be receiving me once I walk outside that gate? In most cases, they're given an envelope with a bus ticket and $40. They step off the bus and there's nobody there.
It is very important to support them because once they're out from the jail, they are in the real life. They need all the support.
If you don't commit yourself to a transition plan, 67% will reoffend or relapse within their 1 to 3 year transition period.
I had to accept the fact that my way of thinking was the wrong way. You have to kind of die to yourself and start a new way of thinking. So the reason I chose to go to school was because I knew that I would have a lot of barriers. Who's going to employ me with no high school education and a criminal history?
She just said, I need to have a college degree. I need to have a good paying job because I'm leaving that life behind. Then she earned a scholarship, became an honor student, and graduated with honors.
The scholarship for the reentry program is very special. It's only for the people just out from the jail, continue to go to college.
Tzu Chi Foundation, we refer to them as the Blue Angels in our lives. They came into the lives of now literally hundreds of our students. They have made a huge impact on everything from providing bus tickets, providing a meditation class. You're talking about an unreplaceable presence that most of us don't experience in life. And it's given so naturally.
It's not just, oh, here's your scholarship. It was more like, you are our family, we care about you. They call me randomly and say, how are you doing, Zelda? I mean, they care about me. They're like my sisters, and I love them.
And now she has her housing secure. She's got a good paying job. She's been clean and sober, but she's built a village around her of support.
Hi, Trish. Oh, I'm so glad you came. Okay. So how was your day?
Difficult time at work today.
You did?
Yeah.
Well, do you want
a coworker.
Were you able to resolve it?
My relationship with Zelda, she's my sponsor and my mentor and my friend.
Once you become a sponsor to another individual, you're their sponsor for life. And you kind of take them under your wing and you just kind of help them through their journey.
She leads the way for me. I couldn't have done it by myself. And so I imagine there are many people who are alone and feel like they just can't make it out, but you can. And there are people that are in this world to help. And my hope is that everyone finds that person.
And I want people to know that it is possible to have a new life, to make good choices, and to be successful at it.
I'm very much looking forward to one day being a sponsor.
It takes a village, and I want people to have hope that they can do it too.
People from all walks of life in Seattle and Chicago gather together in Tzu Chi Family, where they feel being respected. Let's join them there.
Tzu Chi volunteers from 98 offices in the Midwest of the United States gather together in a year-end blessing ceremony. The venue is full of people and love.
Seeing
that Tzu Chi is helping so many suffering people around the world, that everyone unite us want to do this makes me get rid of my usual ego mood. Then I feel like I'm growing.
Everyone grabs the opportunity for personal growth in a half-day event.
My mom always says, home is not words, but rather a feeling of a place. When I studied college in the United States, I understood my mom's meaning. I feel that Tzu Chi is a home, which is not a place, but a feeling. So when I found Tzu Chi, I found that feeling.
The guests from all walks of life share their own experience, which symbolizes the resonance of love.
I learned many things about myself and others. I drank a lot, and it helped me change the way I think and show some compassion for the poor, the hungry, the homeless, and the lonely. And I've taken the experience and transformed it into the community. What I got out of today is I'm going to be a future volunteer with this organization. Not going to promise the world, but I'll help when I can.
I was thoroughly impressed with is how Tzu Chi works with the youth, with the parents, and with the elders, and that were no big eyes and little U's. I'm going to take the positive vibration with me back to my community.
I hope that in the future we can often come and interact together to bring more blessings to such disabled children.
In the Lunar New Year, Chi Chi Seattle chapter, which has been cultivating hearts for more than 20 years, will continue to connect the love in the community.
Tzu Chi Philippine chapter hosted year-end blessing ceremonies. In one day, 3 events were held with more than 1,000 participants. Let's join them there.
Jingsi drum teams strike at the hearts of those in the audience. The sutra adaptation performance is uniform and powerful. This is the first time the Philippine Tzu Chi chapter is hosting a year-end blessing ceremony with a performance of the Water Repentance Sutra adaptation.
This is going to be a very special year for us, since we will be having our water repentance for this year. Also, this is a continuation of our 25th anniversary.
At the Tzu Chi grounds, there are 2 events in a day, and the volunteers take to the stage to share their joy of being in Tzu Chi.
As a Chi Chi person, I'm very happy I have the opportunity to give back.
Meanwhile, at the Jingsi Hall, community volunteers gather, and as they donate their love, they help to light up the map of the country, and they are a part of the light of hope. Watching the year-end review video helps reinforce the steps of compassion. Many who have joined Tzu Chi have felt their own personal growth.
I have a husband who is bedridden, but I'm happy to do good deeds for others.
I eat vegetables each day, and my health has changed for the better because of my vegetarianism.
The red envelope of blessing and wisdom from Taiwan is on everyone's mind. This Chinese person working in the Philippines is able to find meaning in the words on the envelope.
If we have no focus and our mind cannot concentrate, no success can come out of what we do. I know I must settle and focus on each task I take on.
Praying for a world filled with peace and harmony, everyone is ready to welcome the Lunar New Year.
Next, let's take a look back at Tzu Chi's major events in December 2019.
In December, Tzu Chi attends UN Climate Action Summit.
Evidentemente, es triste no haber podido llegar al acuerdo final. Estuvimos tan cerca.
Representatives of different countries cannot reach a consensus on global warming. Meanwhile, Tzu Chi has been promoting recycling for the 30th year. In 2019, the theme of Tzu Chi Forum is disaster risk reduction and sustainable development.
On behalf of my teacher, Dharma Master Chen Yuan, we need to awaken to the lessons that disaster brings us. I hope everyone can reduce their desire be vigilant and sincerely pious every day.
众人积聚的恶业，就会形成一股污浊之气，就能驱使天候异常，造成天下灾难。反之，集众人的善念，就会形成一股善的气压，这股气压就能牵制，乃至于挡去风雨天灾。
I'd like to talk to you about climate change and make sure that we move human society towards plant-based diet. And if we can do that, I'm sure this would have huge benefits to human society and for the ecosystems of this planet.
We have an estimation of approximately 8 million tons per year going into our ocean.
In 2019, Tzu Chi has become the observer of UN Environment Program.
Now is the time for action.
Tzu Chi volunteers have a consensus on recycling. They take actions in different parts of the world. In 2019, at the Lantern Festival, the plastic spoons are turned into golden lotuses. At the Flora Expo in Taichung, Tzu Chi volunteers promote environmental education. They presented clothing, blankets made with recycled PET bottles, tissue paper made with meal boxes, and turn plastic films into environmental interlocking bricks.
没有用的塑胶，我们做成连手装纸，我们做卫生纸跟包装。
It's through the daily. You see the all walks of life. They are doing the recycling. That's the beauty.
我为人人，世界会更安详。让我们
鸡皮瓜瓜拿出来。 垃圾太多了，唔空啊！
做到好開心。
愛地球。
Worldwide, more than 100,000 recycling volunteers protect the planet Earth.
万国际干，对兄一点。愿他的为我做一支歌唱，我应他的不得一支群雄，大慈lingu。佛心即为己心，领受世之风为己之。
印证法言呐，依止敬师，传承法脉，恒立宗门。千万要记得，叫做慈济宗。
In the aftermath of floods in Indonesia, Tzu Chi volunteers have delivered rice and cooking oil to affected residents in Tengwan City. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.